All right, guys, today we're going to talk about 2's complement. So I've already started the project here called 2's comp. I added a little diagram here. So when we're talking about 2's complement, what we have is we have a sign bit. So the very top bit indicates our sign, and then the rest of the bits will indicate our values. And the algorithm for 2's complement is if the number is positive, aka the sign bit is 0, then you just convert the number to base 10 from base 2 to get your representation. If the sign bit is a 1, then our algorithm is that we are going to, it is a negative number, and to figure out what the negative value would be, we will flip all of the bits and add 1 and then convert to base 10. So I think it's helpful to look at an example. So I have prepared an example for us to do. So we're going to start here in our main.c. We're going to read a couple numbers and be able to print those numbers out so we can see how they work. So we're going to include standard IO, standard int, because I like to declare mine using those typical names. So here we're going to use int 64t. So we're going to pass 2 arguments to our ASM main. That'll be the 2 values that we want to look at. So we can define our 2 types, let's say L and M. Use a scanf %LD for a long integer. And then we have to give it the address of L and the address of M. We can then take those and pass them into our ASM main. So now it should be able to read them and put them in the appropriate place. I think I forgot a D right there. All right. I think that's fine. It looks like a compiler. Okay. So that one should be fine. All right. So in here, we are going to take our numbers and we're going to load them. So we know that our first number is going to be an RDI. Our second number is going to be an RSI. So we'll define some places to hold them. Value 1, DQ for a keyword, 0. Value 2, DQ, also just give it 0. And then I'm going to define some strings. We got to put a new line and terminate our string. Okay. And then we will do the sum of value 1 and value 2. Okay. So in our main program, we're going to move into value 1 RDI, because that's our first argument. Move, so we're just saving these. Value 2 RSI, so we've saved them. So now I'm going to move, so RDI should have value 1, so I should just be able to say call print bits. We do have several functions we're going to use, so let's put those up here. So extern print bits, print string, print int, print new line, because we're going to use all of these. All right, so we've printed off what value 1 is. move RDI value 2, call print bits. So this should be enough to at least get us off the ground. So let's try that. All right, so we printed off our numbers, 1 and 2. Great. We've made some positive movement here. All right, now, so we're going to print off taking our number if we did a negative number, and we're going to negate it. So let's do that, and then I'll show an example of doing that. So LEA RIX text1. We'll then print it. Call print string. So text1 is the value 1 negated. So let's move into RDI value 1. We will then negate that by using not RDI. And then call print bits. All right, so let's build that. Of course I had a typo. VALUE, there we go. Perfect. All right, so I did 1 and 2, but we really are wanting to look at maybe a negative number. So -10 and 2. So when we print off -10, this is the number that we get. And so we're just going to go through the algorithm. So here we did a not on it. So we got 1, 0, 0, 1. So we can then do the second part and do the add 1. Load this in. Call print string. Add 1 to RDI. So let's look at that. All right. So if we remember our binary, so we have 0 1s, a 2, no 4s, and an 8. So 2 and a 8 gives us 10. So this is the number if we figure out what base 10 it is. Now, if we wanted to pass in, say, 10 and 2, it would show us that we go through the process. We're taking the number 10. We want to convert it into -10. So we flip all of the bits, add 1, and look, we get the same thing. So you can see, 1 1 1 1, 0 1 1 0, which is F6. And if we looked at when we did -10, we get F6. So the nice thing about this representation is that it allows us to convert the numbers either way. It is always flip all the bits, add 1 if you need to convert it from negative into the positive realm, and vice versa. Additionally, we can add these together. So move RDI value 1, add RDI value 2, call print bits, and let's do our string. So LEA RIX text 3, call print string. So that should print off our string, which is the sum of value 1 and value 2. We can go ahead and call print bits, but I think it also would be nice if we say we add them and then print them off in a nice way. And the print int requires an EAX, so we're just going to use that for now. That's how I did it. Or RAX. Sorry, we can use RAX. You can sprinkle through some new lines if you think it's hard to read. So for example, we could throw in a couple here. You could define your own string that has some new lines in it. So let's go ahead and do a make. And let's do 100 and -29. So 100 minus 29 is 71. But you can see here that because it's 2's complement, we can just take a positive number and a negative number and just add them together. Or if we had 2 positives, we would get the same result, as far as you would get the right result. So, for example, if we did it and we said 100 and 200, you add them together, you get 300. But if you take 100 and -17, you will get the result of those just by calling add. So it's a nice way that computers store numbers. So that's the point of this video, is to show you guys that. We talked about in the shifting example, keeping that sign bit. And so again, when you shift something over to the right, if you use the arithmetic shift, it will preserve that 1 bit if it's set. And if it's not set, it'll just fill in with zeros. So that's the nice thing about the arithmetic shifts. So this has been a video about 2's complement. We'll talk more on our topics later. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.